Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 24th of August. So looking at the euro dollar first, and I was talking about this in the room yesterday in terms of the bar that was being left on the euro dollar, and it has the daily bar there. It's a shooting star, found high as well, and a test at sort of like almost a double top sort of attempt. Never quite made it. Fouled, which suggests a bit of weakness. Now, this could be weakness going into the Jackson Hole conference to see what Yellen's going to come out with in the statement on Friday. But either way, at the moment, it looks like the euro is still trending to the downside here in this shorter term frame. So if we're looking at the short time frame here, and it's really being sold off. Personally, I'm not too sure if this will hold in terms of its short-term sell-off, and whether we'll just see a bit of a yo-yo move and a pull back into the daily pivot. But we just really got to watch what's really happening here at the moment. It's at the moment, as I said, it's finding the easier route to the downside since well, around about 8 o'clock yesterday morning. Now, we do have the daily pivot above, which has a probability of being hit. We're almost already down towards that S1, which if that gets hit, it does reduce the probability of it actually being able to get all the way back. But these markets are relatively thin, so that doesn't mean say it means it can't get up there. There's only 34 pips anyway, so it's not like it's a 80, 90 pip move to overcome. So just watching this at the moment, any proper reversals maybe will give us an opportunity to trade back up. But at the moment, I'm really looking for short opportunities, whether it be back into the 60-21 or whatever we've got maybe on the smaller time frames. Okay, that's the euro, the pound. Let's come out a little bit here, look at what the pound was doing yesterday. It pushed up, spent most of the day doing absolutely nothing. After it pushed up, it had an immediate shove. Still looking, erring more on the bullish side than the bearish side, though. Now it was looking for it to come back to its hourly 21 yesterday, which it eventually did through the Asian session, and it sold off a little bit beyond that. But looking from this 4-hourly picture, really we'd just say, well, that's probably a bull flag at the moment. So there is a chance that it could at some time break the highs here, and it's probably a lot cleaner than what the euro is at the moment. So at the moment, it's looking, well, maybe it will get drawn towards that 60-50. But if we see anything, any break of this trend line, well, I'd be looking at the more positive side of things, purely because these higher lows, higher highs-ish, although it did double top eventually through that late Asian session, late US session actually, at 6 o'clock last night. So it did manage to pip up there, but never broke the highs and, well, rolled over. So yeah, a break of that level would see me looking possibly a bit more positively, but obviously at the moment at 60.50 looks like a reasonable target to the downside. Right, dollar yen. Looking at dollar yen, and well, it's messy to say the least on the dailies. I mean, we've got a up day down, a hammer. Almost, it's pretty messy to me. It makes it pretty difficult to really work out what's going on here. From a 4-hourly, where we got the shooting star almost back into that 50, 4-hourly 50, which could suggest there's some bearish element to come into play here. And it has got a daily pivot untouched, so there is that possibility of it wanting to sell off and break towards that daily pivot. So it's a possibility today. It's running through some very choppy times, but as I say, possibly got some potential to come down there. Okay, Aussie dollar. Again, weakness seems to prevail every time it seems to look like it's going to do something positive. It's rolling over, and I've talked about this every day recently, or every day. Here's every day this week. The lower highs, lower lows, and it popped up yesterday back into the daily 8. Never managed to get beyond it. Never even managed to touch its weekly pivot here, and it's sold off again. So it's really erring to the downside. Again, we've tested this 34 on the dailies before. Maybe the daily 50 is in sight now. Short term, well, maybe double. If it bounces off the double bottom, there's a chance for it to come back towards the daily pivot. Would watch that, but it's not my favourite pair to be trading through the UK session. Quite often, most of this action here. Look, it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon before it really did anything yesterday and started this sell-off. So most of the day it was chopping, and we do see this quite a bit, but we'll see. Canadian dollar. Well, Canadian dollar yesterday, it got excited after Iran said that it may cap its oil output, or may be willing to cap its output, and it's pushed it back up here. But looking at the picture as a whole, on the bigger time frames, Canadian dollar, it's well got potential to push on upwards here, really. As I say, the news should have benefited the Canadian dollar more than it really did, and it's in fact just weakening at the moment. Looking at this, we're heading up towards the weekly SR1. Again, has got a daily pivot untouched. Look at potential reversals this morning, and if it starts selling off, it would become a target, but otherwise the trend really looks like it's finding it easier to be pushing up. Sorry, that move down was the 3 o'clock move down, was the Iranian comments, but hasn't really stuck, has it? So looking at the oil price itself, just to show that through, there we go. That's the 3 o'clock move, but it's all slid back a bit here. The Canadian dollar, through other reasons, has showed further weakness here, and well, we're just seeing this push up here. So it's best to be on the long side in my book at the moment, but as I say, if it does sell off short term, we've got the opportunity for the pivot. But that's pretty much it from me. News-wise today, again, there's very little news, although on the oil front at 3:30 we'll have crude oil inventories, which has been given the Canadian dollar a bit of a kicker of late. The US data coming out, existing home sales, not seeing very much coming from that, so that leaves us with a quiet day with technicals and traders mulling over what may be said by Yellen on Friday. So that's it for me. Have a great one. Bye for now.